Good afternoon, Vice President, Dean, Vice Dean, and Professor. Today, I would like to present about application of visual art, multiple assessment, and IRE framework in teaching EMI Chemistry. And I'm the first presenter, so I feel a little bit nervous. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we had a wonderful trip in UCI, and we learned a lot from Professor there, and we also have some experience there as well. And at the end of the trip, we already share about our feeling or maybe what we learned there. So today, I just want to show about my experience when I teach chemistry at NTUST. I have been in Taiwan Tech for 13.5 years already, and I have taught chemistry for 7 years already under the College of Engineering. And the first of all, I want to introduce about myself, and I'm from Vietnam, and I'm assistant professor at the College of Engineering, and now I'm also work at Office of International Affairs as an advisor. And I joined in some community for Vietnamese in Taiwan as well as for our alumni association. And this is the courses for each semester, so you can see that I have many courses, 5 courses per semester. And actually, for my college, I need to teach at least 9 credits. It's mean that 3 courses. But 5 years ago, we combined ITB and Công程Sư Ban together in one big class, around 100 students in my chemistry class. After that, we separated the students for 2 classes, and the college asked me whether I want to continue to teach for Công程Sư Ban students, and I told them that I want to teach them because they are smart students, so I want to have the high motivation for my teaching in chemistry. And from chemical engineering department, they also asked me to have for chemistry lab. The reason because when I teach them in class for chemistry and for chemistry lab, I also can combine some teaching content together. I can talk in class, and also I can show for some experience in the lab as well. So finally, I have 5 courses each semester. The difference only for organic chemistry 1 for fall semester, and unit operation and transport phenomena 1 for the spring semester. And for my chemistry, it's very special because we have different background for the student. For Công程Sư Ban, for CE student, they have similar background, and you also can see from here. Actually, for my score distribution, I think not the best one, because usually it should be like this, right? But for my course, I teach both for local student and international students. So difficult for me to make that kind of distribution. Because some professors told me that they may consider to have the same GPA for both CE class and for ITB class. But for me, I teach them the same thing. And then because the CE students, they are very good at chemistry. And for international students, actually, we have many excellent students. They got very high score. But some students, they don't have background for chemistry. They didn't study chemistry at high school. So that is a challenge for my class. So for CE class, so I think it's okay, no problem, because they have similar background. But for IG, we have the combination for GTEP and ITB for international student and local student. For local student, they are very good at chemistry, but their English ability not really good. But for international students, they are very good in English, but their background may be not good, and they don't have the same background. So that's my challenge when I teach chemistry. And you also can see here for IG, we have for ITB and for GTEP. And actually, GTEP here, we have 2 different groups. One group, they are good at chemistry, and their English ability is better. And another group, their chemistry, I think, is okay, but their English not really good, so they cannot follow my lecture well, because we have international student and local student together. Sometimes difficult for me to balance this, okay? And for ITB, you can see that we have many excellent students here. So they are very good at chemistry, but some students, they didn't study chemistry at high school. So sometimes I need to spend more time to teach them. And what I did for my chemistry, so at the beginning, look like this is my lecture 7 years ago. I just followed the textbook, and I prepared the lecture, the teaching material like this. And after that, I feel that it's really boring, difficult for me to attract the student, because you can see that many work here, right? And just keep talking, something like that, I think it will be very boring. And after year by year, and I saw that I need to use the visual art. It means that I need to change my teaching material. I can attract the student better. Look like for these methods, we can use to analyze some chemical, and then I can change to some drawing like this. Actually, I draw by myself. This one I draw by myself. And you can see that easy to let the student know that for these methods, we can add chemical, and then we can change ion, become precipitate, and then we can filter the precipitate, and we can wash this, and after that, we can measure the mass, and we can analyze our chemical. So I think with this visual art, and then the student can pay more attention in my lecture, easier to explain to the student than using some paragraph or maybe sentence like this from textbook. And also, I also prepare some other teaching material like I make some motion for my explanation, and also for this one, we can see that when we talk about viscosity, for my old teaching material, I just use the picture from textbook only. But for my new teaching material, I can show the difference between the solution, and you can see that we have the difference for the motion here, we have different for viscosity, we can explain about the property of viscosity. So that's the new thing I use. I call this one the visual art in teaching material. And also, I use the multiple assessment because when I taught chemistry 7 years ago, I just finished my lecture and I give the student exercise, homework, and student can do at home. But actually not sure the student, they work or not, they study or not at home. So after that, I prepare some more assessment for the student to practice, can be in class or can be at home. And they need to submit those assessments to me, and I'm sure that they study well. And for this one, I use the Google Form. Many years ago, I just use Google Form only. So it means that before the class, I can prepare some simple problem, and the student, they can practice first. Look like for this problem, actually, they don't need to study, they don't need to know anything about chemistry. I just ask which one can change faster. So easy for the student to solve some simple problem to reach the concept. And then this semester, after the trip to UCI, I use Kahoot, and I think it's very effective this semester because the student can interact in class. Usually, I talk in class, and some students, they focus on my lecture, but some students, they don't really want to listen to me. And for Kahoot, because they need to practice in class, they need to respond to my teaching. So this semester, most of the students, they need to focus on my lecture, and then they can answer my question during the class. And I also have some multiple assessment here the student can do. And this one I just show you about another thing because I don't have enough time now. So I have Ire framework, and you can see that I can start with some simple problem like this, and I ask the students some simple question to let them think about the concept I want to show them later. And then I can show them about the concept here. And then we have some practice problem. I can let the student try to practice and respond their study to my class. So initiation, I show some simple problem for them to think, and then they have some response to my problem in class. And finally, we have some summary here to show what we have in this topic, and then the student can submit the learning check. Most problem I prepare by myself, so they cannot find the solution from textbook. Look like you can see here, not certain reaction. So it means that this one just look like it's a general one. The student understand, and then they can solve the problem. And I call this one the evaluation. I can know about their result. And the last semester, sorry, can you give me 1 more minute? Because I want to show you some feedback from the student. And in here, last semester, I try to analyze the learning check. You can see this one, the blue one for learning check. It means that the student did my assessment in class, and this is their average score. And then for the final score, we use midterm, final exam, and the quiz together, and also compare for the difference between learning check and the final score. And look like not the same, but the graph between learning check score and final score not much different. So it means that when the student follow my teaching methods, and then for their final result will be similar, not much different. And also, I got some feedback from the student. Look like for multiple assessment can help the student to study better, or maybe for visual art as well, so the student can study better with those methods. Okay, and this one also some other feedback because I don't have enough time now, so I just share you about some results like that. Thank you very much.